You guys take your phone, snag a photo of this. This is essentially each of the individual topics that we covered, at least in the customer reaches out section. That way, if you want to dive into something such as analytics or e-commerce or becoming an option on page 1 of Google, you can easily do that and find which one of those sessions or which week that session is in. So let's get started on ultimately what all of these things mean when you put them all together. Next. The bottom line is, in this environment, we have to cut the fat and we got to go to work on things that are specifically designed to get results, not just activity. Sometimes we spend time busy being busy. I'm too busy to do the things that are necessary in order to see myself grow. That's where we have to switch. It's not a project. We have to focus on literally implementing those activities that are going to get results. Let me give you some examples. There's some illogical things that have been done over the years, right? If I take our customers and I go through and look at their historic process for looking at their digital marketing presence, what you will notice is that they continually bounce from company to company to company, or they continually rebuild website after website after website. And here's the reality. So this doesn't feel good to hear, but your website doesn't drive leads. Marketing does. Your website contains them and converts them when they get there. It educates consumers. So if you just simply rebuild website after website after website and don't functionally think about the things that get results and make those priorities, essentially you're dressing up another unproductive tool over and over and over again, just changing the outfit. So think about it like this. If you have a domain, www.mywebsite.com, and the domain authority is low, that's how Google looks at your site. And if Google looks at it like this and puts a big L in front of the website or a giant 0 or grades the domain authority less than a 10, changing the outfit on a website is not going to improve the results. Next. If you have a website, so if your website is just like your distribution center or just like your warehouse, if the warehouse is empty, if you have no pages in it, no content in it, no products in it, it's hard to sell something that doesn't exist. So if you're building another website and you don't have content, it's like opening another warehouse and just painting the outside, but not filling it up, not filling up the store. So if you have a website and it's not hurting you right now, don't get a new one. Yes, we're a web company saying don't build a new website just with a new outfit because it doesn't help you. Start here. If you already have a website and it's a WordPress and it's safe and secure, let's just start with some fundamentals that are going to help change who you are to the consumer. Number 1, add the e-commerce elements that consumers expect from every big box retailer there is. Make it easy for them to do business, no different than they do business with an Amazon or a Home Depot. It's simple, it's not expensive to be able to add functionality they're used to and they demand in today's environment. The ability to sell products, the ability to sell services, and the ability to sell systems online. Add it to your existing site. Number 2, add a capture system. This gives you the ability to text, chat, talk, manage virtual sales, request reviews, everything in one platform. It allows you to be able to communicate with anybody, whether it's midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning, or if it's 7 p.m. at night or the middle of the day. The majority of consumers are searching after hours. Next, if every page on your website is like a product in your warehouse, then we should add more of it. Launch a monthly content project, launch a monthly content plan today. Start adding pages to your website for the services you want to sell in the cities you want to sell them so that Google can index you for the things you want to sell that consumers are looking for in the cities you want to serve that consumers live and are searching for. And finally, implement an SEO program. Instead of rebuilding a website and having no traffic, implement a search engine optimization plan that leverages that content to get you ranked on page 1 of Google so you can become an option to those consumers. What good is it to rebuild a new website if you have no traffic? Next. If you focus on adding the functionality that's necessary to do business in today's environment, setting up your store from a technology standpoint, actually doing the things that are going to generate traffic and impressions, then you're going to have enough information to be able to decide who are you selling to, what's important to them, what's your brand promise, how are you going to stand out and differentiate yourself. This is when you sit down with Matthew Plugoff and you guys go through and identify what is your branding strategy, what is your brand promise, what do you want to represent, and how is that going to be integrated. And then you have the information to rebuild a website that actually functions, that actually does something different, that actually stands out and differentiates yourself from every other heating and air conditioning company that exists in the marketplace. That is when price no longer becomes the only deciding factor. Rebuilding a same site when you haven't differentiated yourself does nothing for you. Next, don't ignore your database. You have an existing customer database that cannot be ignored. Implement a top-of-mind marketing program. Next, by now you should be generating leads. People should be doing business with your site. You should stand out from everyone else. You should be generating new opportunities from existing customers. Leverage Tom's team to implement a virtual sales team that's going to help you make progress without you having to expend additional capital on additional resources. Next. Now that we have a functioning business, leads flowing in, differentiation, we've got an excellent sales team, start working on acquiring and remarketing reviews, building your reputation, reinvigorating that brand promise and showcasing it across many different places. Expand your digital footprint by implementing a local listings program. Make sure that your company is properly listed in the top 60 plus local directories so that all of that amazing content can be redistributed and used across many networks. Get social. If people are living in a social environment, it's important for businesses to do that. That is the new place for referrals to take place. And finally, if you wake up and see yourself as being the only one who can do what you do, remember you can clone yourself. You can clone that which is great. That's what we're doing right now. All of us are about to go to work on preparing for the next Thriving in the New Normal series. But these videos are clones of our message, and they're going to work for us forever, in perpetuity. They're going to grow. You can do the same thing with your own business. Take everything great and digitize it in a format so people can find you while you do something else. So, do the exact opposite of what everyone's always done forever. Focus on getting results, not just rebuilding another website thinking you're going to get different results with the same text, the same content, same pictures, same brand. That's not the solution. The solution is literally cut out the fat, cut out the time. Don't make how fast a website can be built the priority. Make how effective a website can be built the priority. And it requires attention. Requires attention to the things that generate results. And sometimes it means you have to do things exactly the opposite than you've ever done before. Now's the time.